Hi there. Today we're going to be ranking all of the best Paladin weapons in the whole game in Classic World of Warcraft. And basically, what you should do as a Paladin is try to get one of these weapons. It doesn't really matter that much which one, because all of them are like the best for what they do. And they're all good enough. Like if you have one of these, you don't necessarily need another one. Like if you get Hand of Ragnaros, like anything you get later, if you want to replace it, it's gonna be like a minor upgrade that it's not gonna be super noticeable. But again, it depends on the build a little bit. Anyway, let's get into the weapons, and I'm also going to rank all the weapons on how I view them. And yeah, let's get started. So first of all, we have Hand of Ragnaros. This is the easiest and earliest best in slot two-hander you can get. It's very solid. It got good attack speed. You want, if you're using a two-hander on Paladin, you want the swing time to be as long as possible. So 3.7 is very good. It got very good base damage. It's lacking a lot in the stats it gives. 12 strength and 12 stam is pretty bad. Like it's not really that great. It gives fire resistance though, so it's good against certain casters. But what's really good about this weapon is the proc. Now the proc has extremely low chance. I would argue that it's one of the lowest proc chance of all the weapons in the game. It's roughly 1 out of 30-ish swings, give or take. Sometimes you can get a bit more lucky, sometimes you don't. However, the proc that it has is extremely good. It's basically another auto, but then magical damage, and it also leaves a burn. So if you get this on like a rogue, they can't vanish, they can't go invisible during the duration. You can also get multiple procs of it if you use Seal Twisting, or if you use Reckoning, you can get the same amount of procs as per attack you do, so you can theoretically get 10 procs, but that's never gonna happen with the proc rate of this weapon. But it's a possibility, and this is the one weapon I don't really have, but from what I've been told, it is possible that this proc can critical strike, so it is the hands down strongest, highest proc damage in the game that you can get from a weapon, just on itself. So it's very solid, good weapon. It's easy to get. You just get it from, you craft the base weapon with mining, and you get like the gem from Molten Core. You get this very early on, and it looks really cool with tier 2 Paladin. So very good in that way. Let's move on. Next one we have Thunder Fury. In my opinion, Thunder Fury is probably the best weapon for all Paladin builds. Every single one. Reckoning, Tank, Shockadin, doesn't matter which build. In my opinion, Thunder Fury is the best one. So basically, it's very fast. It's fast enough to where you don't really care about the swing timer being slow. It has an on-hit bonus nature attack. It gives agility, stamina, and a bunch of resistances. It's not very strong on that, on the stats. However, the proc is basically an extra attack. It's basically an extra attack that is also AoE, so it jumps on targets, and it also applies a debuff for the attack speed for 12 seconds. So this is, and the thing is, the proc applies all the time. It's like once every 2-3 attacks you get a proc, and it can also proc with every single attack the Paladin does, so you can Seal Twist proc it multiple times and also Wreck Bomb proc it multiple times. And this is one of the weapons where if you do it Wreck Bomb, you're probably gonna get at least like 4 triggers of the spell. So it's not very far off from using a two-hander, and it leaves you available with a shield as well, so you're gonna be really tanky and doing about the same damage as a two-hander. So it's insanely powerful. The bad side is it's extremely hard to get, and I wish I had this weapon. I just don't have the energy and time to get it anymore. It's like the key I would wish to have, but it's incredible for paladins. Next up, we have Gressil, another one-handed sword. Now this one has the highest attack damage in the game for one-handed swords, and this is amazing if you want to use a shield and you want to play Wreck Paladin with a shield. This is gonna do the highest possible one-handed damage. Absolutely amazing. However, again, the odds of you getting this, you gotta be extremely rich to get it in a GDKP or like be favored in a guild. So it's extremely rare to get on a paladin as well. Next up we have Wraithblade. Now this is the best spell power one-handed weapon, and this is the best overall Shockadin weapon. So if you're playing Shockadin and you want to do I still think Thunder Fury is better overall, but if you're focusing on like your Holy Shock and overall holy damage, then the Wraithblade is the best spell power weapon. It has very high spell damage, hit, crit hit, good decent stats, and average is completely fine damage per swing too. Next up we have the Ashbringer. The Ashbringer, when it comes to potential reckoning bombs, the Ashbringer has the highest possible damage when it comes to like an actual swing. Its base damage is absolutely amazing. It got decent attack speed. However, it suffers a lot with the minus stamina. That's one of the reasons many paladins aren't happy in using it, because you sabotage your tanking potentiality. You're gonna be sitting below 5k HP most of the time using this weapon, and that's not very optimal in most cases. It gives good it has good passives though. 2% crit is absolutely amazing, and 1% hit is also very underrated. This weapon allows you to more or less replace a hit piece with stamina or strength piece, so you have the potentiality to build your character much differently compared to other weapons. But the best brightest part of this weapon is the proc. So this is a spell, it's not a melee attack, it's a spell that does more or less 200 life drain. It has no spell scaling, it has no spell scaling, and it's basically always a guaranteed hit when it lands. What's good about it is it can proc multiple times on your swing and judgments. So in a Wreck Bomb, you can get up to 10 of these procs, which is probably never gonna happen, but the chance is there. And it actually procs relatively frequently. It's almost as frequent as Thunder Fury, where once every 5 attacks you get a proc. And in your Wreck Bombs, there are many times where you end up getting 2 to 4 of these. So putting Fiery on the weapon and maybe having an on-hit trinket or something and doing a full Wreck Bomb, the Corrupted Ashbringer will do the most damage out of all the two-handers when it comes to like pure, you want to blow someone up very fast. So the Ashbringer is incredibly good, probably the best pure damage weapon. But yeah, the stamina, not very favorable. Now we come into the last weapon on the list, Might of Manifold. And is there anything that needs to be said about this weapon? I mean, it got the slowest swing timer, so 3.8, meaning you're gonna get your commander procs all the time. It has the absolute highest in-game base damage per swing. Like this is basically like the difference between Might of Manifold and like the Ashbringer is if you would put the might buff on yourself. That's how powerful the damage difference is. So insane damage difference gives a lot of strength and an incredible amount of HP. If you put if you use Kings, it's basically 50 plus stamina, so it's 500 HP. It has 2% crit chance, and this is the overall highest melee striking weapon in the game. So if you just want to get high commander numbers or high white attacks, this is gonna be the best one. And this is probably the best deep ret two-hander in the whole game as well. This is the weapon you're gonna use if you want to get 2k crits as a paladin on your holy damage. And this is probably the most sought after and favored two-hander out of all the weapons in the game. Dark Edge of Insanity is a very solid two-hander overall. Now, compare this to most other weapons, it's kinda average on everything. The damage is lower than the Ashbringer, about this slightly higher than Hand of Ragnaros. The attack speed is not that great, and it's also an axe, which is not good, very good for humans. If you're gonna playing a human, you don't really want an axe. It got a good amount of strength, and it has 19 agility. This is basically 1% crit. And it got decent stamina too, so the overall stats are pretty good. Damage is okay. What's interesting about this weapon though is the proc. So it has a chance to cast Disorient per attack, and if you seal twist every auto, you double your chance to get this every time. It's pretty solid. You can use it on a wreck bomb as well, and if you do it on a wreck bomb, it's most likely gonna proc the effect every single time. It can happen with your judgment too. If you judge like commander, you can get it as a range CC. The problem is it's only 3 seconds, and it doesn't really allow you to do much. If you get the proc and you react very quickly, you have the time to cast 1 flash of light on yourself. That's about it. The main thing of this is that if you do an attack and you get the proc, the target will be CC'd long enough for you to basically get an extra swing in. So it's basically like if you get the proc, you get 2 attacks, and your opponent can't really do anything. It can be... It's a solid weapon, and it's one of the top tier weapons overall. My biggest gripe with this issue is the crit rate and the damage. The damage is not very great compared to like the Ashbringer and like Might of Manifold and even Hand of Ragnarok with the proc. It's very low. It's probably I would say this is the lowest hitting weapon out of all of them. In a whole duel, it's not gonna do great damage. It's very good against casters though. Like casters and hunters is pretty good against those. Anyway, let's get into the rankings. So let's start. Dark Edge of Insanity. I would put this as a solid... now, I should prefer saying that all of these are technically S tier. Like, out of all the weapons in game, they all belong in S. But now we're gonna just rank them individually against each other and compare them all one another. I would put Dark Edge is probably either a B or a C. I would say this weapon excels more against casters specifically, or maybe in group play. It's a really good like Holy Reckoning weapon. If you're playing Holy Reckoning, it's good. I mean, the CC is nice, but that's kind of all it does. This weapon is kind of only here for the CC effect. Next up, we have the Ashbringer. The Ashbringer is the highest out of all of this. If you have a full Wreck Bomb stack, if you have a fully stacked Wreck Bomb and you just want to kill a target, the Ashbringer has the highest potentiality of doing the most damage. It's pretty good overall, but again, the minus stamina is killing it a lot. Like, the minus stamina puts it... I would put it at the best if it wasn't for the minus stamina. Like, if it just had like plus 20 strength and stamina, it would be good, but the minus stats kills it. Next up, Gressel. I would say Gressel is pretty in the middle. I mean, if you're using a shield and you want to do Wreck Bombs, it's pretty solid for a shielded one, but I mean, I've never seen a Paladin actually go for that. I would rather use a Thunder Fury, but like, if you have the chance to get Gressel, you have the chance to get any of the other weapons, and it's not really that good. Next up, we have Hand of Ragnaros. I would put that at B2. I would put it ahead of Gressel. Now, it's easy to get, but again, the pure stats and damage on it, like, this is a weapon you mostly want to proc from it. Like, their core stats aren't that great overall. But yeah, the proc is good. The proc is really good, and it's good in wreck bombs and kinda good against all classes overall. Might of Manifold is overall good in everything. You have the highest white attacks, highest raw damage. It has no RNG in it, you know. Like, for Ashbringer, you need RNG to get the procs. You need RNG on the Hand of Ragnaros. You need RNG for the stun. Might of Manifold has no RNG in it, so every swing you just do more damage, high crit damage, and you're also innately tanky. Like, people usually compare Ashbringer and Might of Manifold. If you use the Ashbringer and you get 5 procs in a duel, you will have out-damaged and out-tanked the Might of Manifold, but you're not always gonna get that, so it's better to go with the safe bet. So Might of Manifold is clear S tier. Wraithblade is honestly just a Shockadin weapon, and as a Shockadin, I still think Thunder Fury would be better, and that comes into Thunder Fury. Now, these two are, I would put these two absolutely tied. If you're a full bis Paladin and you have to choose a weapon, it really doesn't matter which one of these you pick. The only difference I would say is that Might of Manifold is a bit better in wreck bombing. Like, if you're gonna just stack yourself a bomb and go and PK people, Might of Manifold is better. But when it comes to like a real duel, like you have no stacks and the fight starts, Thunder Fury will most likely out DPS the Might of Manifold. You're just getting those procs all the time, and your wreck bombs do they stack all the procs so many times. Like, you're almost becoming like a warrior at that point. And it's like the dueling potential is much better from Thunder Fury than Might of Manifold. However, against something like maybe a mage, I would prefer to be able to do high crits. So again, depends on which one you would prefer to go for. But personally, if I had to choose, this would be the ranking I would give it. I would trade my Might of Manifold easily for a Thunder Fury. Like, it's no question about it. Anyway, these are the rankings. Absolute best overall weapon in the game, Thunder Fury. Second, Might of Manifold for its overall no RNG aspect and high damage. Highest damage burst potential, Ashbringer. Decent overall damage and good procs and on-hit effects, everything, Hand of Ragnaros. Gressel, very good one hand and shield Reckoning build spec for whoever would use that, I don't know. Then we have Dark Edge, very good CC, but very situational. Probably lowest damage out of all the two-handers. And last but not least, the Wrathblade, literally only good for Shockadin, and even then, it's not the best. But yeah, that would be the ranking. And again, all these weapons are technically S tier. If you're playing Paladin, you need one of these. Like, if you're playing a Paladin and you wanna gear up and PvP properly, one of these, doesn't matter which one, just get one of these, you're good. But I would maybe say not Wraithblade if you're not planning on going Shockadin, then okay, maybe not the Wrathblade. But I mean, Shockadin is a solid spec too, so putting it in there. But yeah, that's it. These are the best weapons and the weapons you should go for. And I hope you enjoyed this. See you in the next one.